Okay, quadratic formula. You've got this reminder, you've got that equation as a reminder, you've got the song in your heart, and off we go. What I would suggest you do first, you got A is equal to 3, you got B equals -7, you got C is equal to a +1. Okay? You have 3 terms that you're going to basically plug into this equation here to solve for x, because the point is we're trying to solve for x. So, you got x equals -b, but negative b is already negative. So you have to make sure that you account for that. And some of you are pretty good about just saying, okay, we'll change the sign or whatever, and that's fine, as long as you're kind of aware and you understand what's going on. I would still, I still plug in the negative and I take care of it as we go. -4 times A, which is 3, times C, which is 1. A lot of hoopla that doesn't necessarily change much. And this is all over 2, eh? This is the Canadian portion of our show here. And A happens to be 3. Now what I like to do to save me a step and not have to write it all down over and over and over again, I like to look at this thing here and write it just above, just to keep track. So there's a 49, and then this is a -4 and a +3, that's a -12. That allows me to do is just to kind of get everything that's inside in order. There's 2 separate terms that we're simply going to add or subtract together. Then I do the rewrite. I've got x is equal to, now that's a +7. Plus or minus is going to be just like the plus or minus we saw in the previous problem. But now it's the square root of, and instead of all this craziness, 49 minus 12 is 37. And that is all over 6. Now that seems weird. Doesn't look like a final answer, but that's the final answer. And that's the way some of these answers are going to look. Every once in a while, we could have done the same thing with this problem up here and just kind of moved the 12 over. As long as it's equal to 0, you can use the quadratic formula. And it won't always come out like this, but in this case it did, so don't be too surprised if that happens. And if we're simplifying radicals here at the end, we're going to split these up into however many different ways we can split them up. I see it as a 5 times a 4, and then I split that up even again as a 2 and a 2. And it doesn't, those are prime, it's a prime factorization. I see 2 2's, I'm going to connect them together like a little dumbbell, and when I do that, I'm reminded that the square root of 2 times 2 is just going to be equal to 2. So I can remove this from inside the radical and it comes out to be a single 2. If they're connected by the circle, take them out and make them only one of them, and then it's the square root of 5 that's left. Okay. 18, same thing. Now some of you see it as a 9 and a 2. I see it as a 6 and a 3. But the 6 can be broken down further to a 2 and a 3, and we can circle them. We see 2 of them, so we connect those together and take them out. Becomes a 3. The 2 is like over here. The 5 was the only thing left. It didn't have a partner. 2 doesn't have a partner, so it stays inside. Whoa, and what's this, right? Well, it looks like that actually. And if we do what we did up here, that's a 16. And if we say -4 times 3 times 1, whoa, we did that, -12. It's a great example because I said before, sometimes I'll end up like this and sometimes I'll end up working out. This is one of the workout types. 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 12 is 4. Now that happens to be a perfect square, so we don't have to break it down like this one, but sometimes we'll have to do that. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this here as the square root of 4 is 2, not the square root of 2. But I can say that's plus or minus 2, all over 2. And I can split this off, kind of like I split that one off up there. This is -4 plus 2 over 2. -4 plus 2 is -2. Divided by 2 is -1. There's one solution. -4, no, I did. Let's do it down here. -4 minus 2 over 2. Well, -4 minus 2 is -6. Divided by 2 is -3. So we have 2 solutions to this one, -1 and -3. Kind of want to let you do this last one again. So use this as your guide. This one's going to be left more like a square root that looks like that. All right, have some fun.